I'm going to roll into it nice and quietly.
I want some fucking ASMR bullshit. That's the opposite of what I want.
Give me a Console Crusade X ASMR pun. Workshop that for me, will you? I'll put you on the spot.
See, the thing about ASMR, I don't really partake in any of that kind of content, so I don't know what the tropes are or something funny that I could do. Maybe like Consonant Crusade.
Oh,
because you get those
nice.
those plosives, those puzz and cuz and does and
whoa. Sorry. It's family friendly podcast.
Fuzz.
Okay, that's clear. That's also a fucking lie.
Give the game a try on Xbox.
Console Crusade podcast. We haven't been here in a while because that's our lives now.
Life finds a way.
I can't. What's the awkward Jeff Goldblum laugh?
He just kind of like moans and quivers.
What a sexual being.
When he's on, is that from Jurassic Park?
Yeah.
Is that when he's on the airplane? To Jurassic Park?
Helicopter. Yeah.
Is it a helicopter? He's hanging out with what's that guy's name? That's not Sam Neill, is it? Sam something? The actor?
Dr. Alan Grant.
No,
yeah.
Jeff Goldblum also is in Malcolm's name.
Sam Neill. That sounds right.
It's something like that. Sam Neill might be someone else though. Maybe it's Neil Sampson.
We could fact check this, but I'm pretty sure it's Sam Neill. I'm going to look it up.
Oh my God. This is where we're off to a great start. This is the podcast where we talk about video games and Jurassic Park news.
Sam Neill.
Sam Neill nailed it.
He kind of grew a beard and had a little haircut. He's like, in this photo, this is what Pierce Brosnan wished he had aged into instead of like a wrinkly old fucking grape.
Yeah, he's British. I mean, have you seen
Sam Neill, isn't he?
Is he? No. It's an American-ass American. Please.
Wait. He was born in Ireland.
What?
Stop it. Born in Omagh, Tyrone, Northern Ireland. I don't know what any of that means. Omagh County?
Maybe.
Is that what that fucking means? I don't need to know what fucking county he's from, dude.
Bro, we're both young enough to not know the difference between Ireland and Northern Ireland, so I think we can sort of put that knowledge as being out of our reach. All right?
English mother and a New Zealand-born father.
Jesus God.
Dermot.
He should.
His name was Dermot.
He should not sound as American as he does in that movie.
He does sound pretty good. Anyway, you were right. Video game news. Sometimes Jurassic Park, apparently.
We'll put that in the retro section of our news.
Yeah, just forget about that. Nick Durheim.
Hey.
I am E.J. Olson. You knew that. You're sitting across from me. We're doing a real life podcast today. I'm trying to just get through the motions here so we can start talking. It is past my bedtime, so I am extremely tired. Can you see it in my eyes?
I can barely see your eyes. There it is. They are nearly sealed shut.
I'm getting rummy. Dude, that's a word I haven't heard in a long time. High school, man, that was the best, man. You stay up way too late, hang out with a couple of buds, you get rummy.
Eat a bunch of ramen.
Funny. Oh, dude, 4 packets.
Dude.
Shout out, Chancellor. So Nintendo had a direct. Apparently, when I'm trying to do a bad transition, I go a little Canadian.
Apparently. That's more Swedish than Canadian.
Swedish?
Something like Minnesota.
Something like
Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Don't you know?
Nintendo did a direct. It was like 2 weeks ago at this point from the time you're listening to this. But guess what? Nothing else has happened other than, as we were discussing prior, Apple came out with a thing, I guess.
They announced a thing. It should be out soonly after this podcast goes up.
Soonly. We might talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
But we're just going to break down the direct, what we liked, what we didn't like. Where were we? Do you remember where you were on September 4th?
I feel like I'm being grilled. Is this like a court hearing? Yeah, I mean, I set an alarm. I woke up and I watched the direct, and then I went back to bed because I woke up earlier than I wanted to.
So this was one of the directs that was like 3 o'clock in the afternoon?
3 p.m., yeah. It's where they generally do these kind of directs. They've done some like at 7 a.m. They've done like Smash Bros. Ones at 7. They've done some at like 6. They did the Indie World thing because I believe that was targeted more for like a British time zone. So some of these kind of move around, but generally it's around 3 in the afternoon. I don't go much later than that.
I like the early ones because I can actually like get up, watch them before work, enjoy my morning. This one, it's like, how many directs?
Surreptitiously trying to watch it at work.
Right. I've got like an incognito window open on half or a quarter of my screen, and I have people asking me questions. And I'm clicking out. I'm like, what did I miss? Also trying to keep up with the group chat. The boss was in the room. I'm like, oh, I'm sick of doing this. So
That was a Wednesday, right?
I don't know what day it was,
We can go ahead and say it was a Wednesday.
but I was at work. This direct was okay. There were some things that would have been really cool if they hadn't been leaked prior.
Yes.
It would have been fine.
Also, when we saw it announced, it was the straight up said, it's about 40 minutes, and it's going to be focusing on Luigi's Mansion and Pokemon.
Which it didn't really do.
Which they didn't really do, and I'm pretty thankful for that because I don't really need a bunch of Luigi's Mansion info
Right.
or even Pokemon info. Those are both like known quantities.
Yeah.
I'm more excited about the game announcements, even like the ports. I'm more excited for. Like I'm more excited for Tokyo Mirage Sessions than I am for Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Sure. Well, let's just go through this thing more or less chronologically how it happened. Some things we're gonna probably skip or just barely mention. Mario and Sonic at the fucking Olympic Games. Like they're still doing that, really?
They're still selling.
Fine.
And it makes sense. Tokyo.
They opened with Overwatch, and it was short and sweet. It was like less than a minute. An Overwatch sizzle reel.
I think it's exceedingly clear that this was meant to be their one more thing. And if it didn't leak like 3 different ways, it would have been their last thing instead of Xenoblade.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that they got it out of the way from the beginning.
Well, good on them too if it was their one last thing, because we talked about this on the last podcast about how I think this is going to breathe new life into a game that is still beloved and remembered fondly, even if the player base is dwindled. As it's a 4-year-old game. It just happens. I think it's going to breathe new life into it, a totally new market, a totally new audience, and it'll see a little bit of a resurgence. And if it plays well, if it runs well, that's cool. I'll probably pick it up if it's a reasonable price. But yeah, good on them for like rearranging the order of things here. There's nothing worse than when there is a leak and you do it, it's coming, and they have all this fucking bullshit pretense.
And it's still
like,
presented like it has some sort of pop.
Yeah.
And it totally like might have, but
yeah.
Extenuating circumstances around it. So yeah, I still feel the same after seeing it revealed that it would have been cool 2 years ago. It would have been really cool 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It would have been neat last year, but this year is just like, okay, yeah, another foregone conclusion of like, okay, an old game is coming to the Switch. I felt the same with like The Witcher. It's like, wow, like they did it.
Oof.
But it's not like knocking my socks off. To that, I mean, after a certain amount of time, it's just like, it doesn't matter anymore. Skyrim doesn't matter. 2016 Doom, a little bit closer to the launch, a little bit closer. Still didn't really matter.
I kind of had the same thought as you, but as the Switch sort of evolved and became more, like came into its own, I'm really grateful for a lot of these old games. Skyrim, I put more time into Skyrim on the Switch than I have on any other platform in the last 5 years. And I don't really play it handheld. It's almost exclusively just because it is so easy to throw my Switch in my backpack and I can hop on a plane. I can hop, I'm always staying in a fucking hotel room for this or that. I go on plenty of little, here a couple days at the beach. I drive up to Portland every weekend, and it's like, I used to literally carry a fucking TV and a PlayStation and a bundle of fucking games, these big cases, and now everything I need fits: a controller, a charger, all my games, and a fucking TV all fit in one little Switch case, which fits in a side pocket in my backpack. Yeah, games like Skyrim or Doom are inferior versions, and they came way later, but they're still games I want to play, and just the convenience of it makes it so worth it. That being said, they did show The Witcher, and honestly, dude, I think it looked fucking terrible. And I know they did a lot of magic to make it work on the Switch.
Yeah, and I wonder how much of that was if they captured from a TV or if that was like the handheld output.
Sure.
Captured from like the handheld version, because it's going to be a much lower resolution. That's obvious.
Yeah.
Like the thing could hardly run on the PS4 and Xbox One when that game came out. So I think it's more just like, if you don't have those other platforms, here's another chance for you to play one of the generation's best RPGs. But if you have one of those, there's no reason for you to get it again.
Well, at least with like something like Skyrim, and obviously it's a totally different scenario because that's a fucking 20-year-old freaking engine. But what was cool about it was that the Switch version is in most ways better than the original version I played. So at least it wasn't like, it didn't feel like I was taking a step back. Yeah, it was a step back from like a super modded, really high-end PC, but the way I most experienced this game was on Xbox 360, and that was a terrible, miserable experience as much as I love the game. So for me, it's like, oh, load times are great. It's been virtually glitchless for me, knock on wood. And yeah, it's vanilla Skyrim.
Not to mention your initial playthrough with Skyrim was your first HD TV.
Yeah.
So I
remember
mean,
that.
You're rocking like a 32-inch 720p TV that's like a huge upgrade from whatever CRT or like big, like the rear projection TV that we were rocking for a little bit there.
Do you remember when we, so for context, for you listeners out there, Nick and I used to live together. Our first time ever being on our own, we lived together. This is back in 2011.
Yeah.
Right? 2011, 2012. And I remember when we first moved in, we were at Goodwill every fucking weekend buying a new CRT TV. And then there was the big screen projection, rear projection TV that wouldn't calibrate right. The colors were weird and the picture had expanded past the edges.
It's a good garage TV. You know, you can watch the OC on that thing.
Yeah. But we had so many CRTs. I had a CRT in my room. We had a CRT in the fucking extra room out in the whatever. We had a janky broken HDTV John bought at fucking Salvar.
I still had all my classic consoles back then though. So I still had my GameCube, my SNES, my N64, all that shit.
Didn't that stuff get like stolen out of a storage unit?
Yeah.
That fucking sucks, dude.
It does suck.
That
And my camera. Not that it's like expensive, but it's like, it's my camera.
It just sucks. It's your things.
That was my Rebel, right? That was my Canon DSLR.
Right.
So that's something that we can both agree on, that ports of like old games can be cool if they were from like the 360 PS3 generation, and if they're just coming to this generation like whole cloth, and the PS4 and the Xbox One get like the higher resolutions, whatever, the better frame rate. But then the Switch can be like better than the original, but this time, guess what, bitch? It's portable. You can pull that shit out of your pocket of your Janko jeans. Or Wii U port, because that's the same thing.
Yeah. Well, we're going to talk about Wii U ports in a bit here. Yeah, but something like The Witcher, though, it's I get it, you're catering to a new audience, but The Witcher is not a game, probably, unless it's like a miraculous port and I actually get my hands on it and I'm really impressed by it. I don't see that being the case. But it's one of those games where I'm like, yeah, I really liked the game. I played it on PC, but I'm like, at the end of the day, I didn't beat it. I played through the main campaign up to the final boss like twice. I put a lot of hours in that game. Never played the DLC. I didn't have the time for it, whatever. But I'm like, if I were to go back and play it again, probably play it on PC, right? Because I already have it. This doesn't.
Yeah, you're not being sold again,
right,
on The Witcher 3
like I would with certain other ports.
And like, yeah, I don't know. It's cool that they're doing it. It's a cool like show of faith from CD Projekt Red.
Sure.
But they also don't make games that would fit on the Switch, really. What are they going to do? Port Witcher 2? Like, no one really gave a shit about The Witcher until The Witcher 3. They're not going to put Cyberpunk on there.
Fuck no.
I mean, they're like one of these AAA ass like they're quadruple A. Right. They are bigger than the big. They are the most like graphically intensive video game producers at this point. It's them, and it's like Rockstar. You're not getting Red Dead Redemption 2 on the Switch.
Sure.
You might get GTA 5. I don't know why they haven't done that yet.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that's not a mobile yet, honestly.
That seems like a fucking no-brainer.
Like, they've sold 100 million copies of that goddamn game.
Yeah.
Why not sell 10 million more, right?
I mean, I would buy GTA on the Switch. 100%.
Yeah, and it was on 360 and PS3. They can do it.
Oh, yeah.
It's possible.
Yeah, 360 could do it. The fucking Switch can do it.
Yeah.
What happens if we get a Switch Pro? Are we ruling that out as being a possibility?
I mean, in the same context that the PS4 Pro and Xbox One X, where it's like they still have to run like there's no exclusive games for the Switch Pro. I don't know if that's likely at this point. It's still possible, but I feel like it would be instead like in 2 or 3 years they just do a whole new. They'll do a 3DS for the DS. You know, where you can still run Switch games on the new thing, but it's going to have games exclusively for it, where it's not backwards, it's not forwards compatible.
Sure.
Basically.
I hope for that, and I hope sooner than later, because freaking Xbox and PS4, PS5, you know, we're going to get a new generation, and it's going to be mostly a traditional console generation. We thought, you know, PS4 and Xbox One would be it.
We're hardly getting the big beefy AAA games on the Switch anyway. So I don't think there's that much of a difference. There's still going to be people that can't afford to hire 200 people and fucking shell out $100 million on one game to make, you know, Cyberpunk or Red Dead Redemption 3. It's not that big of a difference between what's currently happening. There's going to be the mid-tier third-party games that's going to come to everything, and they're not going to be held back by the Switch's power, because it still takes a lot of time and money to create assets that are really like utilizing whatever the new consoles got that the old consoles don't.
Right. Moving on with the rest of the Direct.
At this rate will take longer than the Direct itself to talk about the Direct.
There's some stuff coming up that we're going to absolutely blow through. But they talked Luigi's Mansion for like less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, just introduced
Less than 1 minute.
a new, like, they showed some new areas and they showed a couple, like, 8-player modes
Yeah.
just to try to add more value to it as, like, a party game kind of thing. Which makes sense. It's kind of the same spot that Super Mario Party was last year as far as when it's releasing.
The one thing I think Nintendo has done a really poor job of marketing this to new players, people who don't already have a connection to Luigi's Mansion, either because of the GameCube or because of the DS, because Dark Moon came on the DS a couple years ago, and then became
3DS.
like the Nintendo, 3DS, became the Nintendo Select. They were selling for $20 or whatever, so like everyone bought a copy of it at one point. So I haven't seen anything that's like, oh, I should buy this game. This game's for me.
Yeah, their marketing approach has been kind of strange, but I don't know. It's the third game. It's still doing like a lot of the same stuff. They showed off the new things you can do.
I guess
it's kind of tough to.
So I don't know what it does. Like, what is Luigi's Mansion? Like, it's not a platformer. It's like an adventure game where you're like,
It's like a puzzle adventure
ghosts.
game. Yeah.
Okay, puzzle adventure. Okay.
You kind of just like imagine Ghostbusters. Imagine what it would be to play a video game that was the Ghostbusters.
So
and was good.
There's combat. You're fighting things.
You're sucking up the ghosts, and
That's
they're trying to evade you. And they spook you. You have a health
Trying
bar.
to invade you.
They're trying to do something to you.
Evade. E-vape, dude. Let's go.
Well, they got Professor E. Gad. He's basically E-vaping. That little curly Q on his head and his weird spinny glasses. He talks to mad scientist because he has spiral glasses.
He's a goober.
He is a goober.
He's a goon.
He loves coffee, as is shown in the Mario and Luigi games, where you open up a little coffee shop and you have to bring the beans to him because you're in the Bean Kingdom.
The
All right.
bean. Bean is a weird word. It's
Bean.
cute. It's weird.
How have you been?
Have you been? No, I have no. I don't know other than Nintendo first party Luigi.
Yeah, I agree. They've done a poor job showcasing what the game actually is. They just sort of they assume that you're coming in with a baseline knowledge of what it is and then saying, here's what's new on top of it. I mean, I guess they're doing that because it's a Nintendo Direct and they're speaking to their fans who sort of know what's going on. Maybe that's the excuse. Maybe I'm giving them excuses. I don't know. I don't know what the commercials are looking like for just like, here's Luigi's Mansion. Here's us trying to sell you the game, as opposed to the Direct where it's say, here's Luigi's Mansion. Here's what's new.
Yeah, but they didn't spend any time on it either. They just said it's coming. You guys know that, and they moved on with their life. Then they showed Super Kirby Clash.
Yeah, that was their one of the first shadow drop.
Yeah,
out today. This is sort of the same thing as that inappropriately named Kirby Battle Royale game that came out on 3DS like 2 or 3 years ago.
Right.
Where it's just they call it free to start, but it's definitely free to play mobile stylings of, hey, here's you and like 3 other people fighting a boss in a Kirby game, because that's what everyone loves to do. They love to fight the boss in Kirby. That's what Kirby excels at. It's combat. There's a free to play fucking
sarcasm
version of that, which whatever.
Free to start.
Fucking whatever.
I hate that term. Free to start.
It's such a Nintendo like
slimy.
Well, you see, it's not actually.
Yeah,
we don't want to call it free to play.
Yeah, I know you don't, but it's weird and janky. Don't not call it free to play.
But hey,
Whatever.
man, if you log in once a week, you get your 100 gem apples, and then you can fucking fight more bosses because your stamina runs out. Your little buddy gets tired. All right.
This game's not for me, and it's not even, I know it's a free download, but it's not even making its way to my Switch for a single minute.
I don't think a single Kirby game is for you.
I loved Triple Star and Robobot, Planet Robobot. I love both those games. I love Robobot. I thought the big mech, like if it was like a weird Fisher Price Mega Man game, it was fucking weird, dude. I liked it, and I love
a super fair way to play it. Every time I try to describe it, because every time I saw it, that's kind of the vibe I got. That's kind of
it's easy. I love all the collectibles because I can kind of scratch that collector's that completionist itch without the high barrier of entry. I'm just playing a game. I'm triple starring these really easily. It's fun. It's cute.
I would like Kirby 10 times more if he walked twice as fast.
That's fair. I think the new game had a lot of potential, but that they structured it around this gimmick of needing you didn't need 4 people, but you always had all these different people on screen and trying to control it. It was messy.
Yeah,
it was
not visually
fun.
messy.
Yeah.
Kirby should be zoomed in more, and it should just be Kirby, and just showcase the designs, because I still contend that Kirby has some of the most. It's got the cutest goddamn designs.
Yeah.
For all the enemies, all the characters, they all are awesome.
There's
I love
so
it
much
to
variety.
I love Rick. He's the hamster. He rules. All right.
I was watching. They were breaking down Super Nintendo. Spoiler alert. the Super Nintendo games, and they were talking about
Dreamland 3?
Yeah,
or Dream Course.
Like, this is not Hamtaro. This is Rick the hamster.
This is fucking Rick.
Oh, God.
Hamtaro is also really cute. I like Rick more. He's got more realistic proportions. He's thick. Rick is thick.
Dude. I love that. Kirby, though, on the Super Nintendo, like, I'm jumping all over that.
I'm waiting till, well, I'm not waiting. I'll fuck around with it. But I do hope that they end up adding the other one, the one that was on the SNES Classic. The Superstar. Kirby Superstar?
Right?
Yeah. Where it's just a bunch of mini games.
Yeah. Well,
that game's cool.
Yeah, it is a lot of mini games, but they have like a proper Kirby like campaign.
Ish.
But it's like there's a lot of
shit.
Things.
It's a gourmet race.
That's sort of
got the Great Cave Offensive, all right? It's got Dino Blade.
Didn't they did a remake for that on the DS. Superstar Ultra, I think.
Yeah, probably. But it was a bunch of shit on the DS that nobody remembers.
Yeah, fair. Well,
Chrono Trigger, what's that?
100 fucking however many million units out there. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, it's just
ridiculous.
It's just a bunch of moms playing fucking Brain Age.
And what's the one that Per Schneider likes?
Picross?
Picross, yeah. All the Picross ripoffs.
People love Picross in the 3DS.
I never played Picross.
Picross is tight. Picross. I don't know if you would like it. It's kind of like Minesweeper meets Sudoku.
I've never understood Sudoku, but I love Minesweeper. I spent a lot of hours playing Minesweeper.
You might like it then. Well, I'll show you how to play it sometime.
Okay.
It's easy.
I love it. I really hope they give us a real Kirby game. The last was such a bummer. I was so excited for it until I played the demo. I was totally out. So hopefully we get, I mean, fuck it. Just port Triple Star, do a Triple Star and Planet Robobot like combo pack and sell it for $50. And I'll buy it.
Put them in the new engine.
Yeah, fuck it. That'd be tight. That'd be awesome. Trials of Mana remake was the next up here.
Yeah, they finally gave us a release date. It's coming April 24th.
Right. So we knew this was coming.
Yeah, they showed it. That was one of the announcements. Was it at Nintendo's Direct? Yeah, I think it was at Nintendo's Direct and not at Square Enix at E3. That was the E3 thing.
And we didn't know. Like we're like, is this? Because they announced the collection of Mana,
right?
But they used these new. We're like, what is this? And then we're like, oh, this is the game that it was never released here.
Yeah, because it never had an English name.
Right.
And then they, right on the heels of them saying, hey, we gave this thing an English name. Also, here's a new game, but it's the same name. Is this a new game or is this?
Yeah, it was totally
really
confusing.
Weird.
The Mana games, I played Secret of Mana co-op.
I played Sword of Mana on the Game Boy Advance.
Oh, yeah.
Which was a remake of Final Fantasy Adventure, which was the first Mana game on the Game Boy.
Really?
Yes.
What a convoluted fucking...
Yeah, really, all the Mana games are convoluted as fuck as far as like where they release and when they release and what they actually are. A very weird series. Kind of interesting in like a action RPG. So that was probably like one of the first of that kind of game where it's an RPG as RPG, but you're actually walking around the screen and not choosing through. It's not just like menus.
Yeah.
So it's cool for that reason. And it's got cool music. It's got interesting character design. I really like some of the enemies are like Dragon Quest level, like cute and iconic to me. But I'm not gonna play Trials of Mana. I don't think the people who got Seiken Densetsu or Trials of Mana and the HD collection, not the HD collection, but just the trilogy collection.
Yeah,
I don't think any of them were just like, yeah, this is better than Secret of Mana. I think Secret of Mana is just what everyone likes because they have the nostalgia for it, and because it took them 20 fucking years to actually localize it and put it out here.
Right.
You don't have that nostalgia to really float it up and you're sort of how you review it.
Yeah, this is something that may have done a lot better on the Wii or something.
Yeah, this is totally a Wii-ass game.
You know, where the target audience is like still the right age.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're talking to 35-ish-year-olds now who probably aren't going to go buy a remake of a game that never came out here, even though it's loosely related to the game they liked in 1994 or whatever.
I'm sure most of them, if they're nerdy enough to really give a shit about there being a third one of those games, I'm sure most of them already played a fan translation on a ROM.
Sure. No Mother. Speaking of fucking old ass remakes,
yeah, that's like the last bastion of not translated and released in the West, but really should have.
Come on. Why don't we like?
That was a different era. I mean, that was 2006. That wasn't that long ago that game came out.
Yeah.
I mean, even Xenoblade Chronicles, that was like that required people signing petitions to get that released in the West.
Right.
Like, come on, just do it, Nintendo. What the fuck? We'll buy it. we're in a new time, you know? We can get these weird ass Japanese games, throw some English in there. There's no voice acting. Just changing text files. Somebody already did it. They did it like a year after the game came out.
Right.
There's
no excuse. Give me the Mother remake collection. 3D.
Also, I'm kind of surprised they haven't put Earthbound Beginnings on the NES Classic, the NES Online.
Yeah.
They released that on the Wii U as like a make good, as a 30th. Well, it's not even. This year is the 30th anniversary of Mother, the first game.
Did they release that as a 25th anniversary thing? Is that 2015?
I think that was 2015.
So it would have been.
It's when they put out Earthbound and Earthbound Beginnings.
25. Yeah. Give me a Mother collection remade in the. You're playing footsie with me there, big boy. Remade in like the that we've talked about this, the claymation style that the fan zine that was based off the strategy guide.
There was a Kirby game that was very clay like. I think it was one of the Rainbow Curse.
It was
kind of ones. It was the Wii U one.
Yeah, I think so. But like Link's Awakening,
there's Canvas Curse
out.
and Rainbow Curse. Yeah, so it'd be like Link's Awakening mixed with Canvas Curse.
Yeah, I think that'd be freaking awesome.
That'd be dope. That'd be super tight. Really I don't know if I would want all three.
No one cares about the first one. It's such a janky game.
It's really cool what they did and like how that set the tone. You know, that was Mother 1 is important, and I think people should be able to play it. And they even added the thing. I think they did this in Earthbound Beginnings, where there's an optional item that you can get in the first room of the game where you're just like waking up in your room. You can pick up a key or like a ring that makes things easier. Like you get more experience for fights. So you don't have to like grind to like level up to get your character to a better level.
It's just a secret hidden thing.
I don't know how secret it was or how hidden it was. It was just like, hey, pick up this item in your first room. And if you just have it equipped, it doesn't cost a slot to equip it or anything. You just get more experience.
Was this in the remake or just the original game?
Because the original game was never released in the West. They had it translated. That's what Earthbound Beginnings was. It was the translation that just never got released. So when they put it on the Wii U eShop and the Virtual Console, I think that was part of it. It was an easy mode.
Okay.
Because that ROM had been leaked out forever, kind of like the Star Fox 2 ROM.
Right.
So people had played it. And I don't think that was a ROM hack. I think that was just what they had in the original Western release for it.
Interesting.
And Earthbound could be remade. I think that would hold up really well. You could do some like very minor quality of life stuff. Mother 3. I just think they should be released in their original form as well.
Oh,
like just give us like a Mother trilogy. Give us the Mother collection. Have eToy make a little video for a direct. Be like, hey, remember me, guys? Reggie said we couldn't do it, but we fucking did it.
Okay, Duska.
We killed him. We killed Reggie for this.
Damn it. Rip, big guy. Next on the list is Return of the Obra Dinn.
Indie Darling from last year.
I remember this being on the voters thing for the Game Awards.
Yeah.
But I don't recall like actually seeing it. So this is my first time seeing gameplay. Fascinating aesthetic.
Yeah, I told you about it. And
right.
You blew it off because as you are wont to do.
But it's just, there's another thing I fucking don't know.
Another monochrome game. Who fucking gives a shit?
Yeah, but like watching, wow, man. Watching the direct and seeing this aesthetic and hearing it, I'm like, this is like a weird early PC era, but like meets Myst. Like
it's
the
a cool
weird
pirate
mystery
adventure puzzle game.
So I think I'm gonna buy it. I was intrigued. It's kind of spooky, kind of intriguing.
Shit,
I'm like, I'm gonna fuck with this. I'm
got some
fuck
vibes.
with this.
Not as funny as say Monkey Island, but kind of similar. You're on a boat, right?
You gotta
solve some puzzles.
Save.
Oh yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I really do.
You made some progress.
I got really fucking far in that game. I'm at the penultimate location, I believe.
Yeah. I was napping hard. You were playing that. I passed out. Those games are way fucking harder than I remember them being. I remember them being hard, but like now as an adult being able to recognize that and having way more context for like what a hard game is.
And I'm sure we probably cheated like motherfuckers back then. I actually looked at guides and shit.
Probably.
Which I mean, if you're looking at a guide for an adventure game where the idea is to figure it out yourself, that's basically cheating.
Right, what the fuck are you doing?
That's like putting on invincibility. That's like God mode in any other traditional action game, you know?
Right. After Obra Dinn, there was a quick little announcement. It was barely a minute. Little Town Hero, the game formerly known as
Project Town.
Oh, it was a Project Town.
It might have been Project. I think it was just Town in all caps. Town.
Little Town Hero. All right, this is cute. This is sort of got the, Toriyama ripoff sort of aesthetic.
I think it's like less Toriyama and more Miyazaki, like Ghibli vibe. It looked like a level 5 game. It looked like a Yokai Watch or Ni no Kuni.
I agree with that, but it was like I got this like chibi Toriyama vibe. But you're totally right. Like that it looked like a Ni no Kuni, but like all chibi characters.
Kind of like 80s vibe, just in general.
I see what you're saying.
80s chibi. Let's just say that.
I see what you're
Dragon
saying.
Ball. You get some fucking Porco Rosso.
This is the part of the direct I was sort of in and out of. Again, I was at work and things were happening, and I had to sort of back and forth, and had one headphone in while the screen was down.
You're on your
shoulder.
third mimosa, and you're sort of getting hazy.
Yeah, I blocked that for a sec. My heart stopped. Someone punched me. I came back. So I saw some of the combat, and I was like, "What is this?" I was like, "Oh, this is town." Okay.
I think that's just this game. You can't look directly at, or else you glaze over. Because it looks so fucking boring and dumb.
Yeah, I thought this was gonna be. We thought this. Was
I know
like,
Leaf was like kind of excited about this when this got like announced last year at E3. I'm like, I don't know why. It doesn't look good.
We didn't really know what it was, and it was like, is this gonna be like a weird?
And now that you know what it is,
Harvest Moon thing.
Does it make it any more interesting or enticing?
No. Oh boy! After this, we got Smash Bros. Updates, and this was a fun little thing.
It was a very fun little thing.
So. We knew we were likely going to get another character reveal today.
Yeah, it was. We had to.
Just given the timeline of things.
So we also knew that Banjo was going to be soon.
Soon, another shadow drop. They're like, motherfucker, it's happening right now.
Which they lied to us. They said fall. It's not fall yet.
Right.
What the fuck, Nintendo?
Right.
Doing things sooner than they said. Those bitches.
Those sons of bitches.
Those sons of bitch.
Listen, don't get our hopes up that this is going to be a pattern for you. Okay, Nintendo.
I mean, not to mention fucking Hero. It must have been like a delay internally or something because that came out in like July. That took forever. Between Joker and Hero, I was like 5 months, and now we got 2 months.
I must confess, I have not played Joker, Hero, or Banjo.
I've played all three. I don't really like playing as Hero. His like normals are all really weird, and his specials are. It's too much for me to keep track of because like his B moves all have different, like his standard B, neutral B, side B, and up B. Have different charge levels depending on how long you hold them. And then his down B brings up a randomly selected list of moves that you can choose from by pressing down and up with the stick and then pressing B again to execute that move. So it's just too much to fucking handle, all right? It's too much for me to juggle in my mind palace.
Have you noticed, like, you look at characters like what's his face from Xenoblade and like
Shulk.
There are just some weird things they've done.
A lot of gimmick characters. Everybody's had
Just give me a fucking regular ass Smash Bros. Character.
Since Brawl, I think every character they've added has been really gimmicky.
Gimmicky, totally. With Pokemon Trainer and I mean like
even characters in Brawl, but they've had that since forever. I mean, fucking Game & Watch with his hammer. Everyone has like their weird kind of little gimmick.
I'm trying to think of what are some new characters they added that are like just really cool and solid. Like Bayonetta, just a solid fighter.
Bayonetta with her weird witch time when you do her dodge.
Oh, because she slows. Yeah, you do the down B and it like. But that's like
the way her jumps move, like you can do like more jumps than she should be able to. I think the only character that's actually like kind of normal is Banjo and Kazooie.
Really?
Yeah, he plays like kind of like Diddy Kong, where Diddy Kong throws out the banana, but instead of a banana, you're throwing out like a grenade. But it explodes. It's on a timer, so you have to like throw it pretty quick.
Does it feel like Duck Hunt Dog at all?
Not really. Duck Hunt's kind of floaty and has a lot more zoning ability. Banjo has some projectiles, but they don't really feel the same. You know, they're not utilized in the same way. It's more just like racking up damage. Okay. And then I guess he has kind of a gimmick with his Wonder Wing ability, his side B, where you have a set number of uses. But that's like kind of minor as far as the gimmicks go. It's not like Arsene where you have a fucking goddamn stand that pops out and makes you god tier for a pretty long amount of time.
Yeah.
Just for doing things.
So is it fun? Is he fun?
Banjo feels pretty fun.
Okay.
I'm not going to main him. He is tight. I fucking love that they have Banjo. I love that they added Spiral Mountain. I love those remixes from fucking like, what's her name? Yoko Shimomura, I think is her name. She did like, she's the one who did the music for fucking Street Fighter 2 and for Super Mario RPG and for Kingdom Goddamn Hearts. And she does a remix of one of fucking Banjo-Kazooie's songs. You know, there's some good remixes. There's some good just like vanilla tracks in there. Big fan.
So this is Grant Kirkhope, right?
Yes.
Who the first Western composer, right? In Smash Bros. Is that right?
I believe so. Yes.
That's super cool. Because that guy is he's such a fucking nerd.
He's a turbo nerd. I love following him on Twitter.
Right.
Follow him on Twitter.
He's very active.
Great.
He's very active. And
I love it.
He's just a big kid and he does great work. And it's like, dude, good for you.
He has
man.
a sound too. He's the Danny Elfman of fucking video game music.
Yeah, you know. Yeah. That's really fucking cool. Well, after the banjo stuff, they're like, okay, Sakurai's going to come on and show you how this whole thing works after this. But then SNK leaks were true. I saw a lot of speculation regarding like who the SNK trademark could be referring to on the Smash Bros. Website. And we had talked about, oh, maybe that's just renewing for whatever. Anyway, I didn't see Terry Bogard speculation.
I saw that.
Did you? I didn't see any. I saw we just random weird things. People are getting weird.
He's like one of the guys. He's like the guy.
Terry Bogart's the guy.
He's the guy.
And that whole era of...
Yeah, because SNK, they've done about 1 million fighting games, and they all kind of cross over with each other. Like there's Fatal Fury, then there's Mark of the Wolves, there's King of Fighters. I played none of them because I was not alive and in arcades at that time, so it's like doesn't mean anything to me. But I know of them because they just have history. There's like Capcom versus SNK. Like SNK is this storied brand, I guess you could say, and they've only recently sort of had a renaissance and come back. They did King of Fighters 14. They did Samurai Showdown. They're doing these like little mini collections that are actually like revitalizing and saying, "Hey, we still exist."
So my only context for Terry Bogard is Happy Console Gamer, who is one of my favorite YouTubers. He's just a gooby old 47-year-old guy. He's been playing video games his whole life. And he did some fucking video. He like dressed up and he came out. He's like, Terry Bogard. And then like he's all fucking dressed up like his fucking goofy Canadian white guy. Like, so that's my only context for him. So when I saw this reveal, knowing how fucking hyped this guy is, I was just like, somebody please go check on Johnny. Like, he's probably had a heart attack in his fucking Canadian apartment.
He's a cool addition. I also understand that. I mean, I don't really give a shit about this guy. I never played any of these games. It's it's a cool addition. It's fine. It's whatever. I'm not mad about it.
I would have been mad about it had they not directly announced right after. Was it right before? It was right after.
It was right after that there was going to be more fighters.
There'll be more fighters. This is not our second to last fighter ever.
I think that was a good announcement.
Yeah.
Especially if you think about releasing these characters in an order that, I mean, all these characters are really fucking niche if you think about it. Except for Hero. Hero is the least niche of them, but he's still really niche to like us. Because we haven't really played Dragon Quest games. But like Joker, Persona as a series, like just recently sold 10 million. And they've had like 1 million of them on every single PlayStation console. Yeah. And then Banjo and Kazooie, characters from platformers that haven't been relevant in 20 years. And then we got Terry Bogard, a fighting game character from like 1 million fighting games, definitely. But like SNK, they're only really in arcades. They didn't really get like into the home space very much. Sure. So that's like a dead and gone era. So I think these are all just going to be like the kind of niche third parties. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But it was good timing for them to announce that there'd be more DLC fighters though.
Yeah. Cause there are characters I'm like, and these pose bigger problems, but I want Crash and Spyro. That's not out of the realm of possibility. Given
not.
Like that'd be cool. I want Paper Mario. Like you want to do a relatively basic character, someone who's your own IP.
I'd wait for first party for like another thing. I wouldn't want that to be in a fighter pass. I'd want that to be like a free DLC, like Piranha Plant was.
I mean, yeah, sure.
I think that'd be cool. You know, throw a free DLC character in there to entice people to buy the real thing.
Yeah, I mean, and then there are plenty of other really requested characters. I mean, Gino. You know, realistically, like at this point, give us Waluigi. That'd be fucking cool because Waluigi is not like
I'm not paying money for
anything.
Waluigi. If there's a free character and it's Waluigi, I'd be like, you motherfuckers.
That'd be so fucking cool.
You made me get Waluigi.
That'd be so
I didn't
cool.
want him,
Dude,
but now he's here.
That'd be fucking cool. That'd be really cool, man. I'm all on board for something like that. So like, okay,
meme.
Terry Bogard is like that's really out there, and it's like, do we need another like random fighting?
Yeah, that's the
game
thing.
Character.
That's the thing I kind of wanted to zero in on is it being another fighting game character.
Yeah,
because Ryu was cool because it's like this is fucking Ryu. That's like Capcom's biggest character.
I bitched about Ryu in that. I'm like, I don't want fighting game characters in my Smash Bros.
Mega Man was perfect.
Yeah,
I loved. If they had done Ryu then Mega Man, I'd be upset. But they did Mega Man. They gave us what we wanted. Then they're like, okay, now here's the real thing.
Sure.
They gave us Ryu.
And they gave us Ken.
Cool.
Why do we need
Ken? Ken. That's the thing.
Off.
Ken. We don't need Ken.
No, it's stupid.
Nobody needs Ken. We don't really need Terry Bogard. Smash Bros is a fighting game about characters that don't fight.
Yeah, right.
It's about Link fighting Mario, and then Pikachu shows up.
Yeah, not Ken versus fucking Ryu.
Yeah,
you know
how many games can we play as Ken and Ryu?
Yeah. The Street Fighter thing would have been a little more forgivable if they'd done like Akuma or like.
No, just don't do another Shota.
Well, I agree, but like if you were going to, why did it have to fucking be
Shota.
Literally a Ryu clone?
Do like fucking Blanca. Do E Honda.
Dude, I'd fuck with Blanca.
Chun-Li, give us those thighs.
At least Blanca would have been cool because you would have had like some interesting moves. His down B smacking the ground like Donkey Kong with that shit just is lighting you up, dude. That'd be cool.
Lightning
That'd be
ground
sick.
slap.
I'd be all about that.
With Sagat, Tiger,
dude.
Cammy, dude, anyone. Ken's fucking vanilla.
Yeah, dude.
He only fucks missionary.
Okay. We're gonna move on after that one. Link's Awakening updates.
Did they really show anything new?
I don't know.
Whatever, I'm stoked for that game.
It looked like Zelda. We're all gonna buy it. Dragon Quest. I think you made a comment about how we weren't gonna get through this direct without hearing that theme song. Dude, the same fucking thing.
Dude, E3 was terrifying.
Yeah.
How often we heard that song.
So yeah, that game is still coming out.
Got a demo. I'm playing the demo.
Cool. How is it?
It's nice.
It's a JRPG.
It looks good. Looks good for Switch. It's definitely lower res.
Next up is a game that is a Wii U port. And I think now the only two fucking games that haven't been ported to the Switch are like Mario 3D World and like Wonderful 101.
Pikmin 3.
Those are the three that haven't been ported.
Xenoblade Chronicles X would also be on that list probably.
Yeah. That'll come.
Just because later we'll talk about Xenoblade, first one, but like
that'll come. I promise. We're getting Tokyo Mirage Sessions hashtag FE Encore is sharp. So this is like a weird like Fire Emblem characters meet
Shin Megami Tensei
/Persona in like a weird rhythm musical game.
Well, there's music, but there's no rhythm. It's an RPG.
Oh, okay. So it's like
it's an RPG that when you do attacks, they do songs.
That's fucking weird and dumb.
Because I don't know. Your summons that you're summoning are Fire Emblem characters, but you are trying to be a Japanese idol, which means you're like a pop star singer. So you're doing these cool songs with Crom and shit.
This seems weird as fuck.
Japan.
Like, I hear that. I'm like, I'm fucking out on this. Honestly, if I knew both of these franchises more intimately, like, I've played a lot of the Fire Emblem games, but I couldn't tell you any of the Fire Emblem characters before GameCube. Honestly, who aren't in Smash Bros. Like I couldn't. I'm like I couldn't name a single character.
Wait, you don't remember Ellawood?
No.
And Lynn?
Well, Ellawood's the one who we all thought was Roy forever, but it was actually not him, right?
No, Ellawood's a girl.
Oh no,
Ellawood's it was Roy's dad.
Lynn's
his
girl?
Name?
What's
Ellawood?
That's Roy's dad.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think they ever reveal who his mom is.
Okay. So yeah. I couldn't tell you. So for me, it's like there's probably a lot of characters now that I don't fucking know. If there was a lot more like Awakening characters, sure.
There are Awakening characters in there.
There are. I mean, obviously, I think it's Crom on the cover, right?
Yeah, I think so.
But like even after that, like Fates, like I don't know any fucking Fates characters. I played that game for 3 minutes and I was like, this is a fucking weird ripoff of a game I really like. And I never played it again. So, and I don't know any Shin Megami Tensei or Persona. So I feel like maybe
those they don't have like continuing characters.
Oh, okay. I think. So it's just the loop of you summon instead of spirits.
Well, in Shin Megami Tensei, I'm pretty sure you summon demons? Like demons. Yeah.
And
Persona, it's kind of demons also because there's a lot of like crossover because it's a spinoff of Shin Megami Tensei.
Sure.
But it's more about these personas are like you're going into people's minds and shit. I don't really know exactly.
Right, it's weird.
People love these games though, and especially after the success that Persona 5 had, and all the people that really stand for that game super hard, especially in our friend group, that makes this game a lot more interesting to me than 4 years ago when it came out on Wii U. And there's some people being like, "Oh, that's cool."
I do own
no
that.
One talked about it.
I bought that for like $10 on Wii U. I just bought it because like it's a Wii U exclusive.
I was thinking about buying it a couple months ago because it's a Wii U exclusive and it was still like $30. And it's like, that's a good price for a JRPG that's going to cost $100 in 10 years.
If you want to borrow it just so you can like spend 2 hours with it and see if it's worth buying on the Switch.
I'm going to spend 2 hours with a game that is by all intents and purposes, probably like an 80-hour game.
Well, I mean, you can get an idea. You can jump in, you'll get a couple battles in.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to jump in and have a couple battles in 2 hours. You fucking high.
Okay,
you know
10
how slow
hours,
these games take to start up?
But you would so much rather have that experience than like
I'm not replaying the first 10 hours.
Do I have a cross save between my Wii U and my Nintendo Switch?
No, this game isn't on Steam. I'm sorry.
Oh, man. Well, that's whatever. There we go. Shin Megami Tensei, Tokyo Mirage Sessions, baby. And then we got a string of like weird things, like a game I've never heard of, Deadly Premonition 2.
I've heard of Deadly Premonition. That's a sweary game. I know who Swery is because people talk about him in the same way they talk about other sort of weird niche Japanese creators. He's a dude who's made some games. I think those are Capcom games originally. Deadly Premonition 1 is, people talk about it like it's a really bad game, but it's really funny in the way it's bad. But it's also like cool in some ways. That's sort of like the way people talk about it.
After that was Divinity Original Sin 2 Definitive Edition.
Yeah, cross save with Steam. So if you already own the game on PC, you can take your save and then play it on the go.
That's cool.
That's super tight. That's
really
really fucking cool.
concept.
They show that this, I mean, I don't think Larian is necessarily a small developer, but like if they can do it, we should get this more often in other games.
Well, I'm sure it's a lot of work to implement that and to maintain that. And a lot of companies just don't give a fuck.
I don't know how. I think they're using the literal Steam cloud save, which is just built into Steam. I think that's what they're doing. You don't have to like log into anything. You just sort of point it at your login ID and just like, hey, this is mine, and then it's yours.
Yeah,
I think that's how it is.
Is that like a, what is Divinity? It's like a top-down RPG, sort of like,
yeah, kind of a 3/4 perspective, very, very like CRPG, Baldur's Gate kind of game.
Not
but
for me.
It has some cool modes. There's multiplayer. There is a mode where you can basically be a dungeon master and run people through your own created games. So it's like Dungeons and Dragons, the video game.
Interesting. I want to say I watched our buddy Austin play this on like Twitch one day.
He is super into this game. He's been bugging me to buy it, so I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
And I did play a little bit of the first one with our buddy Mac, but didn't really get that far into it. I got into the first town, and then I was talking to people, and then I got bored.
Sure.
Because it wasn't really working very well as like a multiplayer game from the get-go. But I believe the second game is very, very well regarded. Above a 90 on Metacritic right now.
Wow. Okay. Well, hey. Again, one of those games where I'm like, oh yeah, I'll see how the reviews do. Let's see how the port is, and I'll never buy it. Yeah, I'm not. I'm out. After this, this is another section where I kind of checked out. We got a message from Bethesda. I don't know what that was.
It was Doom 64.
Oh no, I did see the tail end of this. Doom 64 for the first time. I remember
the group chat. Give me that music.
Yeah,
like, that ain't the music that's playing in the game, Bucko. Sorry.
No, it's totally not. But but they ended with that fucking super genty shit that what's his face wrote. What's his name?
I can't remember.
I used to know his name, and I watched a bunch of his fucking videos.
Yeah.
Anyway. I was like, dude, this is sick. I got his shits. I mean, just
if they remastered the soundtrack with like real guitars and shit, that'd be tight.
That would be really cool. I'd buy it just for that. But again, Doom 64 is like an awful iteration of that game.
A weird spinoff.
I mean, whatever.
Maybe midway.
Rogue Company after that. Well, what is Rogue Company? I didn't see this.
Looks like another hero shooter from Hi-Rez. They did Paladins and Smite.
I saw the beginning of this.
Yeah, it's just like some people.
Yeah, them running, and it was like they're like in an airship or something.
I don't know. They look like they're in an airport. It looked like they've got abilities, and there's different either classes or different actual characters that you're selecting. It didn't look like it was actually gameplay, so it's hard to tell what it actually is. But it's another shooter.
It's like looked like Payday meets Team Fortress.
Yeah. Nailed it. You fucking nailed it.
Nice. I love hearing that from you.
You nailed it.
It makes me feel good.
I wanted to say Payday, but yeah, you said it.
There we go.
When are we going to get Left 4 Dead on Switch? Can you imagine Neil or what's Gabe Newell that shows up on a Nintendo Direct surrounded by knives. He's like, I bet you're wondering what I've been doing. Here's Left 4 Dead, the first one.
Not even a remake. It's just a direct port of Left 4 Dead.
Here it is.
Honestly, there's so many cool fucking Valve. I mean, like
Portal.
Just the Portal games would be perfect on Switch, dude.
I know. Got them on PS3. They can make it fucking work on Switch.
So we're coming up on the portion of the Direct that really chapped my buns. Okay.
Curry decks?
Fucking curry decks. Listen, and I think I put this in a group chat, or maybe I tweeted it or something. But literally, this game has already done everything in its power to turn me off from the no national decks, whatever, the whole Dynamax thing, the whole no live Pokemon, but you have weird encounter areas. But everything about it is like, this is fucking dumb, and you guys don't know how to make a modern game.
And potentially forced autosaves. I think that was another
Right.
kind of rumor, leak, whatever.
I'm totally out on this Pokemon game, especially after how fucking great what a revelation Let's Go turned out to be. As much shit as I talked about that.
I think you were a little bit less down on Let's Go because I think I was more easily able to sort of talk you down from that ledge.
Yeah.
But
meanwhile, you didn't finish the game, and I like put 200 hours into it and was shiny.
I finished the game. I finished the game.
I thought you didn't finish it.
No, I just didn't catch every fucking Pokemon like you did.
Oh, I thought you got to like Cerulean, and you're like, yeah, that's Pokemon.
No,
I thought you would like
put like 60 hours in that.
So you beat it. You beat
Yes.
the 4. Okay. Oof, thank God. That was,
It was so easy.
I was carrying that with me for a while, and I was just like, I thought much less of you.
Can't believe. Cannot believe.
So, Pokemon Sword and Shield, whatever. They talk about what the fuck ever.
Or actually,
We got curry decks, bro.
Pokemon SWAT and
Shit. Fuck off. Curry decks. You could make this is like a feature. There's been a whole segment talking about how you can make different curries for your Pokemon, and there's a curry decks to track your recipes. Bro, we got curry decks but no national decks. That's fucking stupid. This is stupid. It's dumb and kiddie. And somehow every Pokemon game they do something to make it more and more kiddie. Like, is this you're catering to 4-year-olds now? They keep topping themselves. How much more childish can this get? I don't even know, like, where do you go from here?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I don't really care about the curry decks thing. It's just because that's just all just wrapped up into the camping.
The principle of the matter.
No, I
Nick.
understand, especially since they've come out and said like, oh, the reason why we're not doing the national decks, which to be honest, I don't give a shit if there's a national dex. But they said that we're not doing this because we want to focus on the animations and it's too hard to animate that many things. And it is bullshit because they've straight up shown every time they've shown an older Pokemon, it has the exact same animations that they've had for years, which is good because they said when they made those animations, like, we're doing this to future-proof ourselves so we don't have to keep remaking this shit. So keep using them. Use the same models for all the Pokemon that you're cutting out for zero reason, apparently.
Yeah. You're literally just retexturing something you made fucking
talking about
8
the
years
balance
ago.
and like these Pokemon games aren't fucking balanced. There's like Dynamax and shit. Gigantamax. This is a single player game that you can sometimes fight people in.
You know what it
but
is?
then the people who fight each other have to make up their own rules because you can't make a balanced Pokemon game,
Yeah.
which is fine. You don't need to balance a game that has 900 goddamn monsters.
It's Pokemon.
It's Pokemon.
The thing about it,
It's weird. It's tearing me apart.
It's all just, they're covering up for the fact, and they've alluded to this, how difficult it was developing, because this team is a bunch of fucking boomers who made games before anyone knew how to make games. And they never really caught up with the industry. And as younger people came in and the technology evolved, they never figured it out. This is why Pokemon games take forever to make and they always seem outdated. Going back to the Game Boy Advance, they always seem to lag behind all of their contemporaries.
Yeah, it's really bizarre to me because these games sell so well. I don't know why they haven't scaled up their team to be able to take on the task that the fans want them to take on.
Yeah.
Like, they should easily be able to make better games.
This game's going to fucking
But they choose
suck.
not to, and by all accounts, like, they still sell really well. So by having a small team that's costing them less money, they're just making more money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we
Super
can't-
disappointing.
They keep being rewarded for kind of this half-assed kind of showing, I guess.
Yeah. And it's only getting worse.
It's sad that this is the best looking Pokemon game.
Agreed.
You look at Level 5 that's putting out a remake of Yokai Watch 1, which came on the 3DS, and looks goddamn leaps and bounds ahead of this
Right.
bullshit. But no one cares because it's a bunch of weird Japanese ghosts.
Right.
Because it didn't come out 20 years earlier. That's the only reason people don't give a shit about Yokai Watch.
You just summed up like half the games we talked about today. Just a bunch of weird, shitty Japanese ghosts.
Yeah, it's true.
I guess ghosts and demons are different, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
My bad.
Different realms.
My bad. Often mistaken for one another.
Yes. And then I believe there are some ghost demons. But that's beside the point.
Tetris 99 2.0 update, whatever.
Yeah.
I only just downloaded Tetris 99 like 4 days ago.
It's fucking hard as hell.
I haven't played it yet.
It's the hardest Tetris you'll ever play.
Really?
Yeah, it's Tetris where people kill you.
And
you don't know how to kill them because they don't explain anything.
I
You have to
suck
watch a
at regular
YouTube
Tetris.
tutorial.
Oh my god! I mean, let's all Leaf plays. Every time I get a fucking my Switch, it's like Leaf's playing Tetris 99. I'm like, Leaf, play a real game.
Splatoon's dead. All right, it's all he has.
I know, Splatoon, rip. So many good memories with that game. But play a real game, man. Like, and they're all in here like talking about Octopath. I'm like, what year is it? Fire Emblem just came out, and you guys are just now playing Octopath. You pick it up for $52.99. Save that $7 guys. Sorry, I don't mean to dunk on the group chat, but they're fucking ridiculous.
You're really calling out Chris. That's all. That's the only person.
Well, even Leaf's like, Zelda. I don't know if I'm gonna play. It's a remake of a game. I'm gonna spend $60 on it. I don't know about that. I'll buy it on sale. And you're like, that's funny. A Zelda game going on sale. It's like, yeah. It's like
that was Drew, not Leaf. If you're gonna call him out right.
Oh, was it Drew that said that?
Yeah.
Shit, maybe you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Oh, Leaf liked it. I see. That's why I got confused. Anyway, you guys are all chuckleheads. Buy Zelda. Buy Fire Emblem. Put down Octopath.
The best Zelda game that came out in the 90s.
Mario Sonic, blah, blah, blah. Daemon X Machina, which we've talked about.
Yeah, one more demo.
But totally retooled.
Yeah. Really cool. I am
mechanics.
super happy that they did that. They put out that demo last year. I played it. I sent in my feedback, and they even put another trailer out. It was like, hey, this is the feedback that we addressed. And it was all the things that I was like, this would be better if this happened, or if this happened. It's all good shit. I downloaded the new demo. Haven't played it yet. Been playing other demos, playing other games.
I'd be curious to check that out while you're here. I'll let you dock up, dude.
Oh, no, we get docking?
You trying to dock me up, bro?
What are we docking?
Oh, shit. Family-friendly podcast.
I never pegged you as a docking man.
Oh, no. I hate that. That's fucking foul to even think about. I'll be down to check that out. Good on the developer for listening to their people.
Yeah, super cool.
Mech games always fascinate me. And
they are the nichiest of niche games.
Well, but they're everywhere, I feel like.
Yeah, there's more than there needs to be. I think it's just cool to model a mech in 3D, and there's a lot of inspiration.
I mean, Xenoblade Chronicles X was all about mechs. It was a very obtuse experience.
A lot of mechs. You're right.
But even like, I like, I really like Gotcha Force on the GameCube.
Yeah, it was a cool game.
Right? And that's kind of
the
a fun...
chibi mech, no, like you're like flying around a bedroom and shit.
Toys, yeah.
Yeah.
But like...
Custom Robo was cool.
Some of the Gundam Wing is still... They still put out... A couple years ago, they put out a Gundam Wing game that was like super well received.
The few Konami games that still happen is Zone of the Enders. They did a remake recently. Yeah. Armored Core hasn't happened in a while, but this has some of the Armored Core like names.
Yeah. So hopefully they fix some things, and this could actually be a cool game, because I wouldn't mind playing a cool mech game. I want to feel badass.
Visually striking game.
Yeah.
Really cool looking game. You feel like a badass.
I agree.
Hard to control.
This was the biggest surprise for me, but not in like a holy shit kind of moment, but just like a what the fuck is happening? It's still fucking weird to even read. We're getting a port of Star Wars Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. What the fuck?
Well, to be fair, it's Dark Forces 3 Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast.
That's obtuse. I don't even remember. I don't even know what you just said. I can't even remember.
Okay, so there was Star Wars Dark Forces.
Right.
There was Dark Forces 2 Jedi Knight. Then there was Jedi Knight 2 Jedi Outcast. Then there's Jedi Outcast 2 Jedi Academy or whatever.
Oh, right.
These games don't get a third one. They just make a sequel of the second one's. The first one's
That's ridiculous.
subtitle. It's weird. It's funny.
It's ridiculous.
This is back when Lucas was in charge of games.
Right.
They hired all the right people.
I played the demo of this game back in the day on PC. That's the extent of my nostalgia with this game.
Well, he was only on PC and Xbox, wasn't it?
It
was back in that era. Xbox really liked getting those Star Wars games on there. Yeah. Like KOTOR and shit, Battlefront.
Ooh, God, I love me some KOTOR. Give me that KOTOR remake. We've talked about this. Just do it. Get over yourselves. Just make it happen.
Yeah, and bundle in the cut content that Obsidian folks actually went in and put in there as a mod after the fact.
Oh, on KOTOR 2. That was really cool. Like 10 years later.
Tight.
I'm going to buy this game just because it's Star Wars and it's weird.
Yeah, I'm gonna flip around and you fight people with a fucking lightsaber.
It's just weird because like...
Weird jank.
Especially now with Disney and everything. They want everything to be canon and to tie into this cinematic universe they've got going on. It seems weird that this game
I just wonder how much... Disney had to sign off on this. How much say they had over it? Because this is like legacy stuff. It might have like weird sort of ruling behind it, you know? Similar to how like Limited Run is putting out all those Star Wars games. Like they're doing like a episode 1 Racer and like I don't think they're doing Shadow of the Empire, but they're doing like a bunch of like the 90s Star Wars stuff. And I wonder if this is sort of like adjacent to or related to it. Because this is, what was I reading? Aspire has the rights to this game. And it was programmed, it was developed by Raven, who's now owned by Activision. And
who isn't owned by Activision?
Yeah, to be fair. But the funny thing about this game, it's either this game or the game before it, but they actually put the source code online. Like you can find the source code to this game. And I don't think there was any repercussion about that because I think it was like right before Lucas sold to Disney, and it was just like an old game. So they're just like, here's the source code.
Like,
fucking
no one cares.
Whatever. No one gives a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really weird circumstances just surrounding this game and like the games of that era. It's like weird mid early 2000s.
It's what a weird thing to
Star Wars like arena fighting game.
Yeah,
It
was weird. That's the only way to describe it. And that's coming to the Switch, and it's the only system it's been announced for. I was like,
no, it's on everything.
Is it?
Yeah, it'll be on everything.
Okay.
That was the press release, I believe, for this game. Because that's also Jedi Academy is also coming out
on
everything,
including the Switch.
Yeah, just not till next year. This one's like October or something.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, after this, it was The Witcher, which we've already talked about, and then we got Assassin's Creed Rebel Collection.
Yep, which it also leaked. But it's cool. I mean, it's really cool that we're getting the best Assassin's Creed game, and then also Rogue, which people also really like, but
no one
really
played because it was only on 360.
Yeah,
I played it.
Yeah, how'd you like it?
I liked it a lot.
It was cool.
I didn't like it
more
as much
boats?
as Black Flag. They had more boats.
Whaling.
It was like in the north, like the upper like Atlantic. It was like frozen. It was snowy and
Greenland shit.
Had an interesting story. We've talked about this on the podcast once upon a time, many years ago, many boons,
eons.
We talked about, it had an interesting story. It was you were an assassin who left the order after some event, and you kind of disagreed with their whole creed and their ethos,
their mantra,
that pun, and I liked it. Black Flag though, Black Flag was visually stunning. The world was just gorgeous and rich, and the story. Edward was a phenomenal character. I liked Edward the character so much. I went out and bought the Assassin's Creed book and read about fictional characters' fucking life. And the way they did it, obviously Assassin's Creed does this. They take real historical figures and they weave these fictional characters.
Isn't he like related to another Assassin's Creed character? Isn't he like the dad of someone?
Yes, he is the dad of the
Assassin's Creed 3 guy?
Assassin's Creed, the bad guy in Assassin's Creed 3.
Yeah. Who is the dad of that character, right?
Yeah, you like think you play the first like part of the game.
Edward's the grandpa of the guy.
Of Connor, the Native American.
Yeah. His dad is another shitty pirate. Or
right? That sounds right.
I think so. That sounds right. East India Trading Company, probably.
Hey. So the pirates.
Everything I know about pirates comes from the film series Pirates of the Caribbean. With John Depp.
And
Lando Blum.
Oh God, I've always had a fascination with pirates. We talked about this too. Your mom, when I was homeschooled for about half of sixth grade, I'd go over for history lessons with your mom and art, and we would tie in the history to the art. And we did medieval times. We did pirates. We did
make your crest.
Yeah, absolutely. And so. I always had a fascination with them. So for me, playing Assassin's Creed, Black Flag, and like seeing every famous pirate is in this game, but it like fills in all these gaps we don't know about what they were doing and like did they really die and what and it was.
Did you get to meet Roger, Jolly Roger?
Jolly Roger is a flag, not a person. Nick,
how did he get his name?
I actually don't know that. How did the flag get its name?
Maybe it was named after.
Maybe it was
the famous Roger who was happy. Maybe that Roger later became a rancher. All right.
Fuck you so hard right now. That was a stretch. Like maybe the Jolly Roger became a rancher.
That's funny though, right?
It's too far. You've got too far.
I think it's not far enough.
You must be stopped. I'm losing. I'm getting rummy right now.
And then Davy Jones gets married to a progressive wife, Alicia Crockett. And then he starts traveling westward, puts on a cool hat made out of a raccoon.
That is exactly how this game ends, actually.
Spoilers.
It sets up a sequel we never got. I don't know why they went back to Egypt. That was weird.
No matter who wins, we lose.
No, really though, it's really cool.
Ports from that generation is a good idea.
Agreed.
I miss a lot of games on the 360 because I wasn't playing games around then. So give me more chances.
Here's my issue though. Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag was a very intense game, very intensive game.
It was on the Wii U.
It was that was a terrible port. Yeah,
the Wii U version ran better than the 360 and PS3. I was watching a Digital Foundry video on it a couple years ago.
This is a game that we didn't launch, but this is a game that came out on
PS4 and Xbox One
at the very beginning of its life cycle,
2013.
And then on PC,
Rogue was the same year as Unity, 2014.
Yeah. So
2015.
If this is a Wii U port, I'm not buying it. Absolutely not buying it.
Yeah, I wonder.
Or if this is
It'll probably be that.
If it's the same quality as
the Assassin's Creed 3 remake or like remaster was very bad. Did not run very well on the Switch.
And Black Flag's gonna be way harder. This giant open world game with gorgeous graphics. So if this reviews well and it plays well and it looks good, and that's not just a Wii U port, because again the Wii U version was fucking terrible, I will buy it. I'll absolutely buy it just to be able to like go through this world again.
Could just buy a new hard drive and try to play it on PC again.
I mean, I could do that, but again, it's sitting in front of a computer.
It's the principle of the matter. Yeah. I understand.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy it.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
What was another port that they announced in this little rock block of ports? I can't remember.
Dauntless is next.
Oh yeah, that's not gonna run well on Switch. I guarantee it. That hardly runs on PC. And it's also like it's a bad Monster Hunter. It's a free to play.
Oh yeah.
Indie. There's not enough weapon variety. There's not enough monster variety. There's not enough things to do besides fight the monster. You load up in this giant area, and then you're just like, okay, I'm gonna walk forward, and there's the monster. But they don't utilize the environment. It's just this big area for no reason. So I don't really like it.
Which sucks because it looks really cool.
It looks like Fortnite.
The screen, well, it's got a similar aesthetic. You're right.
It's the aesthetic. It's every indie game is that aesthetic. And also every cheap AAA game is going to look like that too. Just like Gods and Monsters from Ubisoft.
And then they did a little segment called "Open Your Calendar, More Games Incoming." And yeah, they ran
sure like 2K and like that racing game and like whatever.
Nothing stood out to me at all. I don't
remember any of it.
And then the weirdest part of the direct was they're like, "Do you remember Animal Crossing: New Horizons?" Like, yeah, that happened last month.
They spent like 6 minutes just showing the same stuff that we saw in the Treehouse.
Literally a recap of what they showed.
I think it's because they didn't think enough people watched the Treehouse thing.
Yeah.
But they didn't have anything new to show. It still looks great. I'm still super excited for this game, but they spent a lot of time talking about nothing new.
We were really hoping that they would just be like, by the way,
it's coming out in December, bitch.
Yeah, that'd be so fucking cool.
We're so good at programming that we did it fast.
Yeah, nope. Yeah, it's just a repeat of what we already knew. But they spent literally 5 or 6 minutes on it. I was like, this is the longest section of the whole fucking direct.
Yeah.
And it's stuff we already saw.
Yeah.
After that, it was the
one more thing.
The one more thing, which was the Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition.
Really not surprising, but cool.
Yeah.
I want to play this game. I've tried starting it a couple different times, both on an emulator and like my hacked Wii U.
Yeah.
And just got about an hour in and it was like, it just wasn't working right.
Sure.
So I'm excited to actually get a real chance to play this game. And it looks so much better.
Here's the thing.
The faces actually look good.
The faces,
and that's all that really needed to happen.
The faces are, because
it's better resolution. It's the same models. It's a little bit better textures, but then they completely remodeled the faces. So they actually look expressive. You can see what they're doing instead of like, it's just a muddy pile of pixels in the Wii version.
Right.
And because the Wii was not, that game was not focusing on like, hey, check out how good these faces are. It was like, check out how big this fucking world is. And it was huge, especially for a Wii game. But that was the thing that needed the most attention and they fixed it.
But it's kind of weird. Like the character models in the game before did not look like the character designs. Like Shulk looks literally nothing like the Shulk design we know from Smash Bros.
Yeah, just the faces.
Yeah. So
the design everywhere else, like the clothes and everything, look fine, but it's the face.
But now the face is kind of weird because it looks like they took these big bobbleheads and like shrunk them down and put them. Like it looks kind of uncanny. It's kind of freaky.
I think it only looks weird if you compare them back and forth. If you look at it by itself, it just looks fucking good.
Yeah.
It looks more like how Shulk looks in Smash Bros. Or how he looks in the Xenoblade 2 DLC, kind of, but still more retro fit into that original style because it's not as anime. It's still pretty anime, but it just looks better.
I was hoping that it would be more of a remake and not because I was watching a side by side.
Definitely not a remake. Yeah, it's the same. It's the same polygons.
Yeah,
from the original models, but just the faces.
Which means it's gonna look old. It looked old before. And
they also added some light grass. The grass looks a lot better.
Sure.
So they'll do some sprucing up, but this is not a remake. It's a remaster.
Yeah.
Which it'll be fine because I really like the way that game looks. Besides the character faces, it's like the one thing.
I imagine. I mean, you've been on this JRPG kick. You've been playing a lot of the.
Yeah, because I just have so much time. It's not true. I have not enough time.
Beat Fire Emblem, motherfucker.
I'm gonna do it. All right. I'm in like chapter 14.
Realistically, I'm gonna finish my Blue Lion playthrough, and then I'm gonna go on and I'm gonna do the Black Eagle Edelgard path.
Don't do the Edelgard path.
I'll
tell you about the
I don't
Edelgard
want
path.
to be told about it. I want to experience it. I don't want to be told. I want to experience it.
From all that I know, it's not as long as other paths.
Okay. So you're saying I will
and
likely
it's kind
be able
of
to
disappointing.
beat it? Oh, really?
Yeah.
Mm.
That's what I've heard.
Bummer.
Is that it doesn't have a good enough resolution to the end.
To be fair, I felt like the Black Eagle Church path was similar. It goes off like a completely different, like you get like 2 new bad guys at the final hour, basically. It's weird, and it totally felt rushed.
That's weird.
So I'm hoping the Blue Lions I hope is better because I felt like I invested so much time into the Black Eagles, and then a bunch of stuff happens, and you get these.
And you're doing
paths.
the way you're playing is you're not recruiting anyone really, are you?
Yeah,
are you?
Recruited like 5 people so far in this playthrough.
Who'd you recruit in the first playthrough?
I recruited like all the Shamir and
yeah, the teachers. I've got more people on my team than I do not on my team.
Oh, okay.
By like a large margin.
I've got
like 23 characters, I think.
I'm only trying to recruit the ones I like. The last playthrough, I really liked most of my characters, so I'm trying to think
too.
who I recruited student-wise. Like Ignatz and Felix and
fuck Ignatz.
Dude, big Nats. Talk shit, dude.
Ignatz sucks, dude.
That dude has a glow up and then he
has
goes
the
out
worst
there
hair ever. And he still has the worst hair when he's older.
Come on.
Felix is cool.
Yeah, so them and
he's so surly.
Yeah,
I like him.
And I'm getting a lot of his background now that I'm in. So him and Dimitri have history together, so I'm like experiencing a lot of that for the first time. I'm like, oh, okay, I see what's happening here. I recruit other people, but I don't remember because I ended up mostly just using the students I had to begin with. Plus,
man, I had something spoiled to me about something between Dimitri and Edelgard.
I vaguely did too. That they also have a history, and I don't want to know what you heard because I'm trying to. Again,
yeah, but I just think that's shown in the Blue Line playthrough, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't seem like there's going to be an opportunity for that in my playthrough. But I just wanted you to not play through the Edelgard path because I wanted to talk to you so that we could like chit chat and see what's different.
Which I was okay with that.
I'm not going to play the fucking.
That's fine.
I can't.
I was okay with that at first, but then I found out after we last talked how drastically different each path. Like they are literally different games after the time skip. So half your playthrough is completely unrelated to whatever you fucking did in your last playthrough.
Yeah.
And you have 5 or 4 different boss battles, like vastly different final engagements. I'm like, that's cool. I thought it was just going to be like a little of this changes a little of that. Oh, this character might not die in yours, but it's like the same battles, the same scenarios. No, completely different. Like, and what like my little brother played Blue Lions, and what he told me about his. I mean, it literally could not be more different. Like Edelgard's path or Black Eagle Church path was like it's all about the mysticism. It's all about like those who dwell beneath and the magic and the mystery and who's the goddess and who are, and it's all dealing with that. And then Dimitri is like all political intrigue, like, assassinations and kidnappings, and it has nothing to do with any of the fucking magic and shit. And then Claude's apparently
the Edelgard path is pretty similar to that.
I imagine
just like a conquest.
Yeah. And you're just fucking killing everyone you used to like, and that's probably.
Well, you can choose to spare if you want.
Oh, that's cool.
So like I spared Claude.
Yeah. And Claude's path, I guess, is like he's literally in a different part of the world the whole time, and you have very little interaction with him in the other paths. And
is it like in a Myra or whatever? probably.
I don't know the name of.
They're all bullshit, made up words anyway.
So I'm like, that's cool. So when I found that out, I'm like, oh, I have to experience it all then because it's not like playing
too much
Pokemon.
Game, man. It's too much fucking game.
It's a lot, but I haven't gotten tired of it yet. I'm
fair.
shocked you have, given like some of the games you've completed.
It's fair. It's just so slow. Like it's not about the amount of time. It's just what I accomplish with that time. Like I'll play for 2 hours and I got through a chapter. Like God fucking damn it.
Well,
that's so
you're going
goddamn
pretty
long.
fucking ham. Like to be fair, my first playthrough was like 85 hours.
I just want to have everyone at a master class. That's all I want.
It's unnecessary.
I know it's unnecessary. I'm playing on normal. It's so goddamn easy. I could solo these goddamn missions.
So realistically, like in my next playthrough, I am probably gonna skip literally everything until the time skip. I'm just gonna I don't care. I don't need any of this. I just need to know what happens post time
Go
skip.
through the calendar and just say skip to this day, and then
Yeah, I'll stop. I'll do all my support conversations so I get to know the characters. But I'm not gonna go through running around handing gifts to people. I don't give a fuck. I'm doing it now because there are characters I want to recruit that I didn't get to play before, and I don't like a lot of the characters in the Blue Lion's house the way I did before.
My biggest problem with who I recruited is that I have like multiples of similar classes. It's like I can't justify having 2 healers in this goddamn team. I can't have Mercedes and Marianne. I'm sorry.
Sure.
I gotta choose one of you guys.
Sure.
All right. No offense. Leonie, you're so much better now that you're less of a bitch and you've gotten older. But I've got Shamir and Bernadetta, and they are my 2 bow knights. All right.
Sure.
I've got no use for you. I got Petra and Ingrid for rocking the skies. Got a Wyvern Knight.
Really, Petra? You're okay. Interesting,
But she wasn't spec'd out for anything else in that
bro.
master
I turned
class.
into an assassin, and she literally
I had her assassin for like a couple months. Then I was like, you know what? There's no master class route for
touch
this.
her. Yeah, it's Mortal Savant.
She can't. She is reasonless. All right, she is without reason.
That's racist. Is
No.
it because she doesn't speak English?
No, because her reason stat has the blue arrow down.
Well, you can still build it up.
Takes so much
It just
time.
takes a little time.
Takes too much
But
time. I'd rather put her on a flying horse, all right, and teach her the spear.
Dude, flying units in this game suck.
They've got so
They
much mobility.
suck.
And they can
I don't give a
canter
fuck.
afterwards or candor. I can't remember the skill.
They're like, they're
Plus,
so
she's so badass
mushy,
at a
dude.
bow anyway.
Well, yeah. I don't know. I made
I'm
a
one shot and dude, Ingrid has got a great growth to her. She used to be like, okay, a little bit squishy. But now that she's on a goddamn dragon, are you kidding me?
I made her. She was my first Pegasus Knight, my second playthrough. 'Cause I didn't have a Pegasus Knight in the first one. I had a Wyvern Rider. I had Sedith, but he fucking sucked. I was like, I don't want to fuck with flying units. So then I made the Pegasus Knight.
He is a boomer.
Yeah, absolutely. I fucking made her a Pegasus Knight, thinking, okay, this is what she was made for. This is her thing. She fucking sucks. She's. I mean, it's like you go out, you can't do anything with her because she just gets fucking killed right away.
Just don't put her by bows.
But the bows are everywhere.
Not all the fights have
She's
bows.
useless. Most of them do.
Not all, no,
She's fucking
not most
useless.
of them.
She's terrible.
Dude, all the ones with monsters, no bows. A lot of the ones where you're going up against like armored enemies, give her the axe, dude. Axes against armored enemies kicks ass.
I'm over it. Give me.
She's big pimping, all right.
I was always a big fan in the older games. I was like, all my dope characters were Myrmidons. They're just fucking hacking, slashing, and dodging like a motherfucker. And so then the assassin in this game,
Petra makes sense for you then.
I married her in my first playthrough.
She's great. I can't marry her because I'm a girl.
Damn.
Sucks.
The same-sex options for men. I think we talked about this last time.
Very bad.
Pretty bad.
Same-sex options for girls, not that great either.
You either marry.
I've got all of them as like option. Like they're all there.
Yeah.
But I don't really like. I like Dorothea. She's fine. Not romantically though. Same with Edelgard. I don't know if I'm trying to go there with her. And Mercedes,
I would have
I don't
been,
know
but she's
either.
crazy. Mercedes annoys me. Her voice sucks. I hate her voice.
She's kind of got her English voice.
Yeah,
I'm not a big fan. And obviously, Rhea's off the table for me.
Okay, so Rhea.
She does not like me.
Here's the thing. I didn't know you could romance Rhea. I had 0 support conversations with her in my first 85 hours with this game. This time around, I finally have one. I've been gifting her, and I'm trying to build that up.
Been trying to grease that palm.
Do you care to have a spoiler of the end of the church path of Black Eagles? Do you give a shit?
The church path?
Yeah.
No, go for it.
So
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. So you find out that Rhea has been trying to resurrect her dead mother, who is Sothis the goddess. And she's a child of God, basically. And
this makes a lot of sense.
like Flayn and Sedith are like, her trying to,
Same with Byleth.
Right. Well, so Byleth is special because Geralt had a kid and the mother was dying and her last wish was save my baby, not me. And so she took the life force, however it happened, basically because however it worked, whatever, the merging worked and she was actually able to get a stable, like, resurrected the goddess inside this person and after the events of the game. Anyway, so you come to find out basically, like, you're my mom, but I'm your mom. Like, it's this weird thing, but you can romance her. It's fucking weird.
It's pretty hot.
So I'm trying to romance her in this playthrough.
But you don't keep Sothis, do you?
So,
because at the beginning of the time skip, she's like bounces out. Like you have that confrontation where fucking Rhea's like, sit on the chair. Does it seem familiar?
Right, because they're trying to awaken that.
And you'd be like, yes, but also no.
Yeah. I don't think she comes back, but she's an option to romance. Where I think if I would have chosen her, she would have come back.
You can she does get the arrows up and down for like the support level, but I don't know about that. I think it might just be different for
when you choose to marry at the end of the game. You can choose her, and apparently there'll be like a weird cutscene, and then she'll disappear forever.
Huh?
But I don't know. I didn't do that. I married Petra.
Yeah, Petra seems really cool.
Yeah,
Petra is probably like the most like reasonable choice. To be like, this is a person that is actually like not completely fucked up.
Yeah,
like weird.
She's got a fucked up history, but
I
she's
do really like Ingrid
positive.
though too. Ingrid fucking rules.
Ingrid, I haven't. She's pretty vanilla for me so far.
She's pretty vanilla, but she's just nice. She's just a good person. She's reliable. Big fan.
I'm trying to think of it. I like
so many of the other characters are just like, here's how quirky I am. Here's my one thing.
Right.
Like that gets old.
Bernadette is
fast.
way over the top with her weird thing.
But she has such a troubled history. It was like, don't make her such a goddamn piece of shit dork.
I'm pretty sure like all of the main characters like watch
everyone
their
has
parents
a goddamn
die.
troubled history. It's like, my parents died or they abused me. It's like, if everyone's that fucked up, then it doesn't matter. That doesn't explain anything. That you just made a dumb character.
Yeah. I like Lysithea a lot, but she's kind of a bitch. But she's kind
of a bitch. She's a little bit more toned down.
Okay.
And I also really like how her and Edelgard have like very similar origins.
Oh, I don't know anything about Lysithea to that point yet because I didn't talk to her all my last playthrough. I don't. Hell no. I want to find out because I'm trying to get her in my house right now. She's like my top priority,
dude. She's
OP. I hear
she can 1v1 the Death Knight.
Yeah, dude. You know what's cool in this playthrough?
She's my dancer.
I've grinded up so far that the first and second time I ran into the Death Knight, I fucking killed his ass.
Nice.
Got a couple of dark seals which I can't use because.
You don't have any black mages?
No, I don't have any.
Wait, only guys can be dark mages, can't they?
Like Hubert. I don't have Hubert.
God, Hubert fucking blows.
I hate that guy.
Hubert sucks. He's like Snape if Snape was worse.
I can't wait to kill him again. Stupid fuck. Again. Yeah, I killed him in the last playthrough. It felt so good. I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah, he deserves it.
Fuckhead.
Wait, your blue is that a net? Is the net in your house?
Redhead?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She can't be a dark knight though, because she's a guy or she's a girl.
I don't know.
Guys.
I don't know.
I think because
it's sexist.
There's gender specific classes, which sucks. I want a girl brawler.
Is that like dancers? Obviously.
Yeah, dancers can be girls. Wait, no, dancers can be guys too.
What the fuck?
I've seen pictures of Hanneman as a dancer, which is hilarious.
Oh my god! Have you seen the Hanneman? The grappler outfits are straight up some fucking like BDSM leather daddy shit, bro. It's
hot.
Why?
Why is it only the guys though?
And why do we put right? And why do we got to put little Caspar? In that fucking outfit. It's like, dude.
That cute little twink boy.
Stop.
He's so good at fisting. That's what that outfit says to me.
I wish you didn't have to change your outfit when you change classes because a lot of their default.
At least it doesn't change your cutscene outfit. It just changes the outfit that you're wearing like on battlefields.
Still, I don't like it. I don't like it. I hate Byleth's new hair.
Yeah.
It was dumb.
I like the green.
I don't like it.
Green's cool.
I like the blue.
Blue's cool too. Both good colors.
Anyway, Constant Crusade podcast.
Apple Arcade.
We're wrapping
whatever.
it. Apple Arcade. Who fucking cares? I'm over it. It's late.
Put that in the box.
I'm tired. Yeah, it's whatever.
For Apple Arcade.
Yeah. Constant Crusade. Feedback at constantcrusade.com. Write to us. Talk some shit to us.
The only thing we ever get in our email is our host saying, hey, your credit card doesn't work. But then it totally does. So I don't know. I'm just going to ignore that from now on.
Notice several unsuccessful attempts to process your latest invoice at Simplecast. Seems like there may be a problem with your current payment method on file.
Guess what? It's not. It works.
Or they just haven't canceled our plan yet, even though it hasn't billed you. Or have you checked your bill? Has it actually gone through and billed you? Or they've just not canceled us yet?
I don't remember.
You should find out, because if we get canceled and we lose all our episodes, that's going to really suck.
Here's the thing. I don't think they'll delete everything, even if that did happen, if it lapsed.
I would look into it.
I have looked into it. All the information is correct. There's nothing I can do to change it to make it work, because it already works. The numbers are good. I double checked the numbers.
Well, what is happening is if it's not going through and you're not actually getting charged, is your bank's probably blocking the charge, thinking like, what the fuck is this or something. Something's wrong. Because we literally get that every fucking week.
My bank would email me if that were the case.
Nick,
right?
It's real weird. I don't know.
Would that be the thing? Would that make sense to you, the man who talks to me about the thing?
Literally, it's just important. Like going back till May, important problem. Like,
and it still is uploading. Everything's fine.
That's so fucking weird. Listen, if you're on fucking Twitter and you give a shit, at Press Till Death is Nick. I am at eJiggle. Listen, console_crusade on Twitter. If you give a fuck, go to Twitter and tweet at us. If you tweet at us, we will start tweeting on our Twitter.
Tweet Twitter.
Otherwise, I'm not tweeting into the void. I do that enough. I got 80 followers, and I tweet like I have fucking 10,000. I'm an asshole. We're on Facebook, too. We don't post there either. Follow us. Leave us a goddamn review. I'm telling you, I'm angry about it. Leave us a review. 5-star. We're donezo.